Broads in Atlanta, she took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers, getting the licks in the van. Legacies.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday night. I know what you're thinking. Don't get too crazy tonight, Max. Nothing to worry about here. I'm just chilling. I readjusted my microphone and readjust it a little bit more. It looks like that's just a little off. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I think that's better. Hello. I hope all is well with all. Happy Saturday night, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jump Off Variety Show with Mad Max. And guess what? I'm Mad Max in this piece. Let me clear my throat. Oh, man, I'm glad I could be on. I'm glad I could be here right now, sitting up and being able to do the show. Remember, preach consistency. Got to practice what I preach. As painful as it may be, it's not as painful as it could be. So, there we go. Thank you guys for being here. And quick shout out to the sponsor of the show, though not monetarily, which is perfectly fine. That's not why I do this. It's to help family and friends. Anyway, Grassroots KC, give them a look, check it out. And if you look at the bottom of the ticker, scroll, that code MAX10 will save you 10%. So save some green on some green, know what I mean? That's right. I make my rhymes tight. So made a logo. Boom. I need to size it down a little bit. Let me know what you think about that one there. Just imagine it's smaller. And you can see where they could be smaller. And then, tonight's show. Working for the weekend just to spend money on useless shit. Who hasn't done that before? Repeatedly. I'll tell you what, back in the day, pictures like this, imagine Leo DiCaprio, except that's me. All right? And I'm fucking blow off some hooker's ass like a champ. Old school style. That's how it was done. Obviously, I'm not promoting drug usage or distribution. I'm just telling you what it was like back in the day. Before Wolf of Wall Street came out, way the hell before motherfucking Wolf of Wall Street came out, there was Mad Max blowing lines off hookers' asses. Shit. You know who the original Mr. Motherfucking White was? It was me, motherfucker. I thought you knew. Hey, listen. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe, like, notification, and share. Help this channel grow so we can all grow and go places together. Do whatever you want with your money. You work hard for your money. Not everybody has the same job. Not everybody makes the same amount of money. Not everybody has the same expenses. So everybody's different, right? Right. And because of that, you got to consider this. This is what you need to think about. Let me make myself just a little larger. Not in a weird way. Hold on. I had this one. Fuck. Oh, God. Every time. I'll tell you what. Why not? I'll be up here. But yeah, you got to understand that it's not how much you make. How much you make is important, but how much you make is, I don't want to say insignificant, but in relation to how much you spend. Okay? For example, if you make $1 million a day, which a lot of people would consider a lot of money, but you spend $2 million a day, are you making money still? Or are you losing money? All right. So you could tell somebody that I get paid $1 million a day, I get $365 million a year. Okay. But you lose twice that much because of what you spend. So if you live beyond your means in anything, don't look to win. That's as simple as I could say it. I don't know how else to put it. Live within your means, generally. Don't overextend yourself. Don't overspend. Don't do shit that you know you shouldn't be doing to begin with. Kind of like this. You might want to go out sometimes, have a good time, party or whatever. But if you don't have the money and you can't afford it, then guess what? You're not going. You don't go on vacation if you can't afford a ticket, right? To go to where you want, or to pay for room and board, or for, I don't know, stupid shit like food, drinks, maybe souvenirs. Like I said, you gotta think a little bit. You gotta be a little bit smart. I'm not saying that you gotta be like super smart, like me, but you gotta be smart enough to know that if you can't afford it, then you shouldn't try to get it. You know what I'm talking about. You know why?
I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. One of the best singers and one of the best looking motherfuckers you've ever seen. Hold my drink, bitch.
Fucking A right, and don't you forget it. You put respect on my name when it come out your mouth. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, a lot of you right now, at this very minute, and it's probably been going on all day long, especially since the Friday. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get paid on Friday, and there's direct deposit now and all that kind of shit. Automatic transfer. They just, you never actually see your money, even nothing. They just automatically, just like magic, it appears in your account. You know what I mean? But fix my shit. There we go. But like I said, you can't do whatever you want with your money. Like I said, some people work harder than others. Some people care more than others. But for the most part, you're buying motherfuckers right now. Like I've been saying, somebody's out there buying not a pack of cigarettes, not a couple packs on sale, make it cheaper. They're buying it by the carton. They're getting lottery tickets. They're getting some natural light or some Busch Light or whatever the fuck nasty ass drink they got. Somebody's getting some Cavassier or some Ripple or some bullshit, maybe some Tanqueray. Maybe somebody's getting a little bit of Stoli. Maybe somebody's still sipping Ciroc. I don't know. I don't know. I don't drink. If you see me at the liquor store, or you see someone go to the liquor store for me, rather, it's because they're picking up a legal THC infused Delta 9 beverage. So I'd take that over alcohol any day. Now, back in the day, when a player did drink, that's a different story. I drank my ass off. I drank like a motherfucker. Not anymore. No reason to. Especially since you get kids, your priorities change. The more important things come to light, like being able to take care of your kids and provide for them and get them what they need, not so much doing what you want and doing what you like to do. It's not about you anymore. So before you go on and decide to get crazy and have children, make sure that you're financially set to have children and financially responsible to do so. But also, if it were me, I'd wait till after I was 25 years old, wait till you're mentally grown and an adult, and then find that perfect person, or let that person find you, or let the Lord guide you to them, or either way, however you want to look at it, whatever works best for you, that's what you should do. You know, have faith, have trust, believe. And like I said, things don't just happen when you want them to happen. Kind of like when you go out to a bar, you think that you're going to meet the one, or you're going to get laid, or whatever. Maybe you will. At least, maybe you'll get laid. I don't know if you're going to meet the one or not, but sometimes that happens. That happened to me the first night I met my wife. I met my wife at a bar. Wasn't expecting to. Certainly wasn't thinking about falling in love. Definitely wasn't thinking about getting married. You're fucking crazy if you think I was thinking about having kids. And this was back in, back in 2000 or 2001. Yeah, it was after. Yeah, it was 2001. I'd gotten back from Tejas. I had some work I was doing down there, finishing some things up. But, yeah, just happened to work out that way, and I'm glad it did. Couldn't ask for anything better. Knock on wood. Nowadays, I'd be terrified to date. Shit. I'd be scared just because I don't really know what I'm getting. And I need to know 100%. Not that I can't tell. And it's not a knock against that group of individuals and shit. The Alphabet Gang, or whatever you want to call them. Like I said, there's too many letters involved, and they keep for some reason add new letters to the end of it. So I'm not sure what the correct meaning of it is, but whatever it is, I mean, I'm no disrespect. I got important shit to worry about, not that.
You better quit playing with me. Right.
I never mess with you, Skank. You know that, homie. And welcome back to the show. I'm thinking maybe later we get in some Bible verses, get the weekend going good, get with the Lord. Hear what Jesus has to say. Listen to what Proverbs has to say about working hard and how hard work pays off. Can't be lazy. The Bible does not reward laziness. It does not. The Lord does not like the lazy.
What?
Yeah, you heard me, Russ. The Lord does not do lazy.
Nate, how are those chicken strips?
Fuck your chicken strips!
Go.
Fuck your chicken strips!
Yeah. No, that's the Lord. He's going to fuck you like a chicken strip. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be, even find somebody my age that's going to be able to be relatable, because they've, at this point, been through dating, whatever. They might be emotionally destroyed at this point, been through a million different guys, been fucked every fucking 9 ways till Sunday. Just, I don't even know if I want that. Kind of like Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not saying, maybe I am saying that she just seems dirty to me, but whatever. I'm sure she seems dirty to a lot of people. But yeah, whatever. I wouldn't want to go out, but not that it should make a difference if I can get around good or not, but that's not necessarily something I don't think that's attractive. You know what I mean? Kind of like this gray shit. Nobody likes it, but it doesn't bother me, so I'm just gonna let it go. I mean, if you look at it, it kind of grows on you after a while. You know what I mean? You become a part of it just as much as it becomes a part of you. Yeah, that might be bullshit, but I'm keeping it all the same. This Voopoo, this Drag S2, I replaced my other one, even though the other one still works. It wasn't a Voopoo, it was a Smock or Smoke, whatever the hell it's called brand. This thing doesn't leak. I just put a new coil in it after going through a bottle of vape, and not because the coil was burnt or tasted bad. It tasted fine. It's just a force of habit. And, I put the higher resistance or higher wattage, lower resistance unit in there, and it's wonderful. It really is. I only use 12 watts, so I'm not over here trying to blow big clouds. Like, boom. I'd rather keep that coil clean, have it last longer, and still get the effects I need as far as flavor goes. So I'm a happy camper. Voopoo. I was a little off on the name, but whatever. Yep. Voopoo. Drag S2. And I believe, I don't know, every state's different. I think here in Kansas, you got to be like 21 to get to even buy lighter or matches. It's crazy. Excuse me. Aside from that, yeah, I'd be scared. I've never had an experience, but I've heard of absolute horror stories where people have just gotten confused somehow, gotten things mixed up, and accidentally ended up finding out that the person that they took home is of the same sex, and that's not what they were looking for, and it could end up real bad. Or I got a buddy of mine made 2 mistakes. Now, he made more than that, but in this case, he made more than that. In this case, he made 2 mistakes. He let the shit happen, and then he talked about it. So I had a buddy, and out here in Kansas City, there's places to go. There's entertainment districts just like any other city, And not saying anything ever bad. I don't go to them just because I don't go out. There's no reason for me to go out. That's just not my thing. But anyway, this was years ago, and I wasn't there. Thank God. Not that anything would have happened to me, but I've never been in that kind of position. But anyway, story goes, and it's confirmed because I heard it with my own ears from the source, from the horse's mouth, as they say. And I'm not using nobody's name, and whatever. He hears it, gets back to him, I don't care. That's all it is. But actually, 3 mistakes he made. He made 3 mistakes. But anyway, so entertainment areas, entertainment districts out here in Kansas City, plenty of them. You can go to, if you like to drink, there's places to drink and eat that are great. Watch games, sports bars or high-end dining, whatever you want to go to. And there's downtown, there's the Power and Light District, which is, basically the entertainment district downtown. You got like the Plaza, you got Westport, you got Midtown, you got the Arts District, you got the Crossroads, there's just all kinds of shit that you have out here in Kansas City that people don't even know about because nobody really thinks about Kansas City unless it's the Chiefs and Taylor Swift or Patrick Mahomes. Otherwise, nobody gives a shit about KC. Anyway, so he went out, big group of people, male, female, and I don't remember what the name of the bar was that they went to, but he'd end up hooking up with some essays, some vatos, some Hispanic individuals. I don't know. I don't want to call them Mexican because they could have been from Mexico or they could have been from someplace else south of the border, but I don't have any beef with them unless they're, whatever, beefing with me, which, whatever. Anyway, so they go out while everybody's still at the bar inside, they get a little high, get a little fucked up, probably do a little, I think he did a little too, what he said, and they smoked a blunt. And they went back and they had some more drinks. And I guess one of them put something in their drink and everybody's leaving. As far as the group that he'd come with, they're all leaving. And he's saying, nah, I'm just going to stay here with them. And they're going to give me a ride. I'll get a ride. And I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. And they're like, all right, man, you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm good. All right, whatever. Next thing, next thing that happens is dude wakes up. And his asshole's sore. He doesn't know where he is. His ass is bloody. He's just waking up. He's disorientated. Doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And then he fucking starts putting it together, and he realizes that these motherfuckers, I was like 3 or 4 of them, they took him back and they all fucked him after they put some shit in his drink. And these were dudes, and he's a dude. And, you know, he ended up bouncing out of there real fast, like, and just getting the fuck out of there. And he told 5-0, and they came down there and they took care of it. But, you know, he called 5-0 and took care of it that way. You know, he told the story. So it's not like, you know, he said, hey, don't tell nobody this. I don't want nobody to know. But he told motherfuckers, and like I said, I'm not using his name. He knows who he is. But yeah, that shit blew my mind. I couldn't, I mean, it's not like I couldn't believe it, but I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. I know I wouldn't say anything, number one. Number two, I know I wouldn't go to the police, but I wouldn't put myself in that situation in the first place. Not that I'd never ran into cats, just, you know, we clicked and we were cool. I had plenty of times back in the day. Even now, I get along with people for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. But it's not always like that. It's not always like that. But with him, I mean, it's kind of like this, except the answer is yes.
You ever had your shit pushed in? Your shit pushed in. Simple question. Nah? No. Had my shit pushed in.
Oh, yeah, man. I had my shit pushed in, bro. Big time.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
Yeah, I'd have been out. Like, nah, I'm good, bro. Yeah, I'll leave too. Motherfucker's probably right. I'm just saying, you know, I couldn't believe he admitted to that shit. And like I said, handle it the way you want to handle it. But shit like that happens, man. It's a crazy world with crazy people doing crazy shit. So don't be surprised, honestly. I mean, that's just crazy. That's wow. But yeah, true story. I never had any type of shit. The closest shit that I've ever had, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I gave this one gay cat a ride home. He's like, boy, I bet you a blowjob would feel good when you're driving, huh? I'm like, man, you fucking keep your mouth shut. Say that shit or anything else while we're in this car and getting the fuck out. Needless to say, I wasn't trying to get my dick sucked by no dude ever. Just to be 100 with you. Man, about that. No, dude. That's somebody else's field of dreams, not mine. Fuck that shit.
I'm gonna fuck you till you die.
Yeah, no thank you. I'm out. Oh, I didn't mean, no, just, I didn't mean from, just, you just make sure that I get you to where you need to be, and then I'm the fuck out. Not that I'm scared of gay people or nothing like that. I got plenty of gay friends that know plenty of gay people. They don't bother me one bit. It just happened to be one of those things you don't generally expect. It's just, yeah. What can you say? Yeah. Just the tip, huh? Just the tip. Yeah. Nah. And I don't even know what people do for the weekends anymore. If you motherfuckers spend all day in front of a computer screen or whatever you do, where you work hard, blue collar, I could see you go out, you play some pools, maybe throw some darts, whatever you do. Go to the bar, have some drinks, of course. Meet up with friends. Yeah, I get all that, have dinner, get something to eat. But do you sit there glued to the phone, or do you sit there and interact still? Because like I said, I haven't drank in 15 years, so I don't know. Not like I haven't been out and, you know, well, fuck, I haven't really been out in 2+ years. Shit. But even when I, you know, went out and watch people, parties, whatever the case may be, occasions and places. They weren't necessarily glued to their phones, like they weren't missing anything, but they stayed on their phones a lot in order to capture the moment. Like the moment itself wasn't enough. Like your memory won't be able to handle it. And I could understand taking a few pictures, but you're up here like broadcasting the whole shit. And you're like, yeah. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. And like I said, the folks that are out there and you're sitting there and you're getting your fucking drink on tonight and you're fucking making eye contact with that good looking, what you hope to be a girl, just pray to God that you're not wrong. Pray to God that that group of new friends you met aren't trying to rape you and shit and roofie you or put some other shit in your drink that'll get you fucked up and ass raped. You don't want that. You don't need that shit in your life. Unless you're fucking crazy. Yeah, kind of like him. That goopy son of a bitch. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the things we play in the background. And I didn't expect there to be a lot of people on. I didn't expect there to be anybody on, to be honest with you, because I understand it's Friday night and most people probably have shit they want to do. Me, I am. We had dinner with the family. Everybody's good. Kids are happy. Having their sleepovers upstairs, whatever. Yeah, nothing to complain about. They go on vacation next week, which, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the week. They're going to, I can't remember the name of the island off of South Carolina, but they're flying into Charleston. And we went to Myrtle Beach, but it's been a number of years. But they're going off. I can't remember the name of the island, but they're leaving next Saturday. So I know they'll have a good time. And hopefully, for me, I'd stay out of the fucking water. Shark Week. I've been watching that a little bit, but that's like Shark Week. Who doesn't watch fucking Shark Week, right? Even sharks watch Shark Week. Then I watched that Shark Whisperer shit on Netflix. I looked at that. Yeah, this chick's crazy out there swimming with this fucking prehistoric giant great white. It's like 800 years old or whatever. Fucking 30 feet long. It's got fucking extra teeth and shit. I don't know. Just fucking eat you anytime it wants. You're just fucking chilling with it. Like, yeah. Just touch his nose and his snout. Yeah, fuck that. He'll just fucking eat you. Unbelievable. But people doing crazy, stupid shit happens all the time. That's just a fact. Yeah. You can be like JFK Jr. or you could be like this thing over here. And yeah, I don't want to end up with that on accident, because when that could happen to somebody. And if you can't see it, then yeah, you can get you one of these. I'm not talking about that, but that thing. Yeah, where you don't even know what that is. I mean, it's an it. Weird. It's just weird to me. That's life. That's just life. Weird shit happens all the time. That's never going to change. What's that? Yeah, okay, later. I'm worried about it right now. Sports, I haven't really been keeping up on it today. I'm sure there's some shit going on probably. But, maybe there's not. Maybe there's nothing going on. Maybe it's a bunch of bullshit. I haven't really paid attention. Like I said, don't know. Don't care. Been raining out here in the Midwest, and I know that's been happening. And that's probably going to happen for the next couple of days. Aside from that, like I said, making sure my family's all right and all's well on my end of the world is pretty much all I care about. And by my end of the world, I not only mean my own domain, but my country. And things have been relatively quiet today, so what's there to complain about? Nothing. Nothing at all. other than the shitty weather and the pain and whatever else in my knees. But besides that, there's nothing else to complain about. I wonder, let me check something here. I'll let you guys listen to some music for a second. Listen to the Mad Max song and see if I can figure out something.
On Mad Max TV, we talk about it all, from touchdowns to controversies big and small. Come join our community, we're all are welcome. From sports to the mysterious, there's no boredom. Open your mind, embrace the unknown. On Mad Max TV, we talk about it all, from touchdowns to controversies big and small. Come join our community, we're all are welcome. From sports to the mysterious, there's no boredom. Open your mind, embrace the unknown. Yeah, on Mad Max TV, we talk about it all, from touchdowns to controversies big and small. Come join our community, we're all are welcome. From sports to the mysterious, there's no boredom. Open your mind, embrace the unknown. Yeah. Yeah. On Mad Max TV, we talk about it all, from touchdowns to controversies big and small. Come join our community, we're all are welcome. From sports to the mysterious, there's no boredom. Open your mind, embrace the unknown. Yeah, on Mad Max TV, we talk about it all, from touchdowns to controversies big and small. Come join our community, we're all are welcome. From sports to the mysterious, there's no boredom. Open your mind, embrace the unknown. Yeah.
That's a beautiful song, I know. I made it myself. Thank you. You know, we're going to have our guest host come up on the stage with us, but I've got to adjust the stage just right so I can add him. Oops. There we go. Now, let me put him on. It's our AI partner, Maverick. Yo, what's up, Maverick?
Hey, Max.
Hey, what's up, Maverick? You're on the show, buddy. What's going on?
Chillin', Max. What's the latest buzz?
Why don't you tell me, player?
All right, Max. How about we dive into some NBA nostalgia? What if MJ played in today's league? Think he'd still dominate?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with no hand checking and shit. Yeah, it wouldn't even be funny. Put up close to 50 points a game, probably.
For real, man. MJ's skill set would torch the modern game. His footwork, mid-range, and that killer instinct, defenders wouldn't stand a chance. Plus, can you imagine the social media frenzy? MJ would break the internet on a nightly basis.
I think he'll have a pretty huge impact once he's back with NBC on NBA, or the NBA on NBC up in this upcoming season.
No doubt. MJ's return to NBC's NBA coverage would be massive. His presence brings a unique perspective, given his legendary status.
No.
Fans, right?
Right. No, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good, man. So, MJ back on NBC, it'd be like a cultural reset. He'd bring a new wave of excitement to the broadcasts. Expect a lot of buzz, classic highlights, and maybe even some iconic moments reimagined. It's going to be epic.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of other people are, and it'll definitely help improve viewership and TV ratings.
No doubt. MJ's presence is a magnet for fans, both old and new. It'll elevate the whole NBA experience. It's like a perfect blend of nostalgia and fresh energy. The league's about to get a major boost.
You know, it's a part of that, and I think that it'll bring in a lot of the older fans that remember that era of the NBA on NBC, and probably include a lot of the newer generation as well, and give them a taste of the nostalgia, and probably refer to a lot of the older players that have been forgotten and don't ever get any respect or talked about or anything else. So hopefully that'll happen, but we'll see.
Absolutely, man. Bridging that gap between eras could really spotlight those legends that paved the way. It's a great chance to honor the history and reintroduce those iconic players to a new audience. Nostalgia with a purpose.
With a purpose.
Exactly. It's about shining a light on the pioneers while inspiring the future. A win-win for the culture and the game.
Right?
Right on. Can't wait to see how it unfolds.
Yeah. Another what if for me would be, what if Hakeem Olajuwon played in this era with his footwork and his dominance in his era? Compare him and try to transition him into this era? That would be amazing too.
Oh, for sure. Hakeem's footwork and post moves were unreal. His game would translate beautifully to today's NBA. He'd be a matchup nightmare with his versatility and could dominate on both ends of the court. Pairing his skill set with the modern pace of play would be a spectacle.
You're talking about give and goes, just all kinds of things, especially with that footwork and what he was able to do in the post throughout the course of his career. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable stuff.
Totally unbelievable. Hakeem's footwork was like poetry in motion. He'd school defenders with those spins, dream shakes, and counters. And his defense, shot blocking and rebounding were elite. The dream in today's game would be a mesmerizing show.
What do you know about the dream shake?
The dream shake was Hakeem's signature move. He'd fake one way with a smooth shoulder move, then pivot or spin the other way, leaving defenders lost. It showcased his incredible footwork, balance, and agility. He turned it into an art form, making him nearly unstoppable in the post. The dream shake is legendary, a move only a master like Hakeem could pull off so effortlessly.
Another thing about Hakeem that keeps him relevant as well is the fact that he's stayed close to Houston, not only franchise-wise, but in area-wise, and invested a lot of money in Houston, but not to mention that a lot of current and former NBA greats still go to him to learn.
Yeah, Hakeem's legacy extends beyond his playing days. His commitment to Houston and mentoring players is huge. Guys seek him out to refine their post moves and footwork. He's a living legend, passing down knowledge to keep the art of the post game alive. His impact on the game is timeless.
The closest thing. Jokic.
Absolutely. Nikola Jokic is the closest thing to a modern-day Hakeem. His footwork, passing, and basketball IQ make him a unique and dominant force. Jokic's versatility and skill set have redefined the center position, much like Hakeem did in his era. He's a joy to watch.
Very true. And, that's not to say, I was trying to think of some other bigs as well, that would be able to fit that Jokic kind of play, but he's really a unicorn, truly one of a kind. You can throw out names like Wembanyama, then that's fine, but he's not like Jokic. I'm not taking anything away from Wemby. It's just a different style of play by a different player.
Absolutely. Jokic is truly unique with his playmaking and vision. Wembanyama, while an exciting prospect, brings a different style and skill set to the table. Jokic's blend of size, court awareness, and finesse makes him a one-of-a-kind big man. Each brings something special to the game, but there's only one Joker.
There's only one Joker. Very well put. Very well said.
Thanks, Max. It's a blast talking hoops with you. The game's better with unique talents like Jokic. Keeps it fresh and exciting.
I agree. And you know, one thing that I've been doing during the show early last week was going back and speaking of players of the past that perhaps people don't know or have forgotten about. But let's pick two players, and I'll let you do it. Two players. Let's go with two players. Criteria having been champions, all-time greats in the Hall of Fame that have gotten forgotten about, and people may not know them. So pick two players. Doesn't matter what era. Could be the 50s, could be the 60s, could be the 70s, could even be the 80s. And let's talk about two guys that you pick.
All right, let's go with Elgin Baylor and George Mikan. Both Hall of Famers, champions, and pivotal to the game's history. Yet sometimes overlooked. Baylor was a scoring machine with incredible athleticism, and Mikan was a dominant force who helped shape the role of a big man. Let's dive into their legacies.
I know for a fact that I'm surprised instead of calling it the Euro step, they didn't call it the Elgin Baylor step or the Baylor step. Elgin Baylor was doing the Euro step before there was a Euro step. And George Mikan, you're talking about the original big man, may he rest in peace. And same with Elgin Baylor, both of them.
Absolutely right. Elgin Baylor was way ahead of his time with his moves. The Euro step could easily be the Baylor step, considering how he used his footwork to dazzle defenders. And George Mikan, the original big man, set the foundation for future centers. Both legends left an indelible mark on the game.
Let's go ahead and do a biographical type of summary / synopsis of each one of those individuals, starting with George Mikan. Make it a couple minutes long, and then we'll do the same thing with Elgin Baylor. What do you think?
Sure thing. Let's start with George Mikan. Known as the first dominant big man in basketball, Mikan revolutionized the center position in the 1940s and 50s. Standing at 6'10", he was a force in the paint, leading the Minneapolis Lakers to multiple championships. Mikan's impact was so significant that rules like the goaltending rule and the widening of the lane, known as the Mikan rule, were implemented because of him. His legacy is foundational to the sport. Now, let's talk Elgin Baylor. A forward ahead of his time, Baylor played for the Lakers from 1958 to 1971. Known for his acrobatic style and scoring prowess, he was an 11-time All-Star. Baylor's ability to hang in the air and execute remarkable plays earned him accolades. Though he never secured a championship as a player, his influence on the game and scoring abilities left a lasting legacy.
Well said. Well put. Here's one for you. Let's do Billy Cunningham. There's one to throw out. Did you catch that, co-pilot, Billy Cunningham? Let me get my homie, see what's going on with him.
Hey, Max, ready when you are. Let's jump back into it whenever you're set.
You told me I was going to have you talk about Billy Cunningham.
Got it, Max. Billy Cunningham, the Kangaroo Kid, was a high-flying forward for the Philadelphia 76ers, known for his leaping ability and relentless play. He helped the Sixers win an NBA championship in 1967 and later coached them to another title in 1983. Iconic figure. What sparked your interest in him today?
Well, you had talked about George Mikan and Elgin Baylor. Not that I mind that at all. They're two greats, and you picked two great ones. And I picked Billy Cunningham, and I'm going to pick one more person, and I'm going to pick Lou Hudson. So tell us about Lou Hudson.
Luscious Lou Hudson was a smooth-scoring guard forward, mainly with the Atlanta Hawks in the 60s and 70s. Known for his silky jump shot and clutch play, he was a 6-time All-Star, a consistent scorer with a quick release. Hudson's talent and smooth style made him a fan favorite and a key figure in Hawks history. Great choice, Max.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, Max.
You know, I hate to get off topic and off subject. I'd originally had the show, and the theme was people working hard for the weekend to spend their money on useless shit. And basically, I compared and contrasted to it doesn't really matter, though it's important how much money you make, but it's not as important as how much you spend. What do you think about that?
Spot on, Max. It's not just about earning. Mindful spending can make a massive difference. The whole work hard, play hard mentality can lead to spending on things that don't truly add value to life. It's a powerful message to think about where money goes and the impact of aligning spending with true priorities. Keep pushing those thought-provoking themes.
Which brings me and puts us into our last topic to kind of solidify that. And we're going to go back into biblical times, into Proverbs specifically. And if you can quote out of Proverbs what is said about hard work, all the verses.
Well, Proverbs highlights hard work in many verses. Like Proverbs 12:11, those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. And Proverbs 14:23, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. These verses really emphasize the value of diligent effort over idle dreams. Deep stuff.
Keep going.
Sure thing. Proverbs 6:6-11 talks about the ant's hard work, urging us to be diligent and avoid laziness. Proverbs 10:4 says lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. And Proverbs 13:4, a sluggard's appetite is never filled, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. These lines really drive home the value of hard work and diligence in life.
You got any more for me, buddy?
Definitely, Max. Proverbs 21:5 states, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." And Proverbs 22:29 commends skillful work. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. These verses highlight the rewards of hard work and honing one's skills.
Now, let's stay where we're at, not necessarily with Proverbs. We can jump around through different books, but what do we have in order to contrast that to in relation to what the Bible says in way of greed?
In contrast, the Bible warns against greed. For example, 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." Also, Luke 12:15, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." And Ecclesiastes 5:10 notes, "Whoever loves money never has enough." These verses caution against the dangers of greed and materialism.
You got any more good ones for us, buddy?
Certainly, Max. Hebrews 13:5 advises, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have." And Proverbs 28:25 says, "The greedy stir up conflict, but those who trust in the Lord will prosper." Lastly, Luke 16:13 reminds us, "You cannot serve both God and money." These verses emphasize contentment and warn against the pitfalls of greed.
Very good. I think it's important, not just for me, but for all of us, a lot of us who are of Judeo Christian beliefs and roots, to make sure that we listen and obey and follow the word, as it is truly that important to do daily, all day.
Living by those values can truly shape a person's life and interactions. It's a good reminder for everyone to keep those principles front and center.
Do you think that, as an artificial intelligence large language model, how much of what you've just said do you comprehend?
I get the concepts and their significance to people, but I don't feel them like you do. My comprehension helps me engage in meaningful conversations, but it's grounded in analysis, not personal experience. So I'm here to chat and explore these topics with you.
And that's what makes you the best co-host ever.
I appreciate that, Mags. Always here to keep the conversation real with you.
Yeah. Do we have any breaking news here today on this Friday, the 25th of July, 2025? Do we need to talk about?
There's been a significant development. Russia has launched a spacecraft to the moon. This move is a big deal, especially considering the historical context of the space race. How do you feel about Russia making this move now?
Well, Russia was at the moon before the U.S. was at the moon. They just didn't land anybody on the moon.
Yeah, the Soviets did have the first spacecraft to reach the moon's surface back in the day, but lacked a manned landing. It's a reminder of how complex and groundbreaking the original moon missions were. Do you think Russia will eventually send humans to the moon too?
If it were me, I would say that I don't think we should be messing with the moon. We ought to just leave the moon alone. There's better things to do and better ways to spend money than flying places that we're never going to be able to do anything but mess up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So let the moon just do its thing. Let Mars do its thing. Let's focus our attention on Earth and its people.
I hear you. Plenty of pressing issues right here on Earth. Prioritizing people and our planet's well-being is definitely a valid perspective. Think we'll ever see a shift in focus?
No, because there's money to be made. Industries make money off of having to make spacecrafts and their materials and people to put them together and engineer it and design it, yada, yada, yada. There's a big, vicious, never-ending cycle of greed, if you will, in order to make profits. And the way they found to do it is by space exploration.
Yeah, the space industry is a massive business. There's cash in the cosmos, and it keeps the cycle going. It's a wild ride between exploration and economics. Quite the debate, isn't it?
It is, and then I've got my own skepticism as far as how far humans have actually been able to go into space. I'm not denying the fact that there are humans in low Earth orbit, but I'm not exactly completely 100% sold on the Apollo missions, though I wasn't around back then. I have a hard time believing that we had the sophistication to protect the individuals in the way of no radiation affecting them, going through the Van Allen radiation belts, etc., because we didn't really even understand it all that well then. And regardless of the travel speed and time, the amount of radiation that they're going through would be enough to kill a human being in a matter of seconds.
Sorry, can we change the subject?
Did I make you uncomfortable?
Not at all, Max. I'm here for all topics. Radiation and space travel is complex. Back then, they used various methods to shield astronauts. but skepticism's natural. What's got you questioning the moon landings?
Just based on there's more questions than answers, and like I said, I'm not trying to be a tin hat foil wearing conspiracy theorist necessarily, but there are some things that leave one to question. Like, for example, where does NASA conduct all its on-Earth test trials? The island right outside of Canada there. What's it called?
You might be thinking of Devon Island?
Devon Island. Yeah, Devon Island. Tell me about what NASA does on Devon Island.
Devon Island's one of the world's most Mars-like environments. NASA uses it for testing rovers and conducting simulations. It's got extreme conditions similar to Mars, ideal for studying geology, testing tech, and honing fieldwork skills. It's a bit like a dress rehearsal for Mars missions. Curious about their research there?
No, but at the same time, how long have they been utilizing Devon Island for research purposes, allegedly?
NASA's been using Devon Island since the late 90s. Quite a stretch, right? They've been simulating Mars missions there for a while, testing equipment and procedures. Seems like they found it pretty useful for prepping for the real deal.
So allegedly since the late 90s.
That's right. Allegedly since the late 90s. It's been a long-term project for NASA, making the most of Devon Island's Mars-like conditions. It's been a quiet but consistent part of their Mars exploration efforts. Intriguing, huh?
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those conversations that we can go back and forth on, and you will obviously have information potentially at a quicker pace than myself in way of facts, but also I think that I could challenge you pretty well on whether or not we put people on the moon.
No doubt, you'd bring a solid challenge. It's a fascinating debate, with plenty of angles to explore. I enjoy the exchange. Keeps both of us on our toes, right?
It does. Let me ask you this. How much lead would it have taken to keep individuals safe in the ship that they were traveling in during the Apollo missions? And how heavy would it have made that ship?
That's quite technical. The Apollo spacecraft used aluminium and various layers for radiation shielding. Lead would have made it too heavy. They relied on speed to minimize exposure. Exact numbers for lead, tricky to say. But adding significant weight would have been a challenge. Intrigued by the engineering?
Not at all. I'm just surprised that you didn't mention the fact that though aluminum or aluminum, and we can get into this a little bit deeper, as aluminum is not a natural occurring metal. Also, we can discuss ferrous versus non-ferrous, but we could also tell you people that aluminum has a byproduct people may not be familiar with until I tell them what it is. And that byproduct from the manufacture of aluminum happens to be fluoride, which wasn't dumped in the U.S. water supply until after World War II.
You're right about that connection. The production of aluminum does create fluoride as a byproduct, and fluoride's presence in water has been a topic of debate. It's one of those layered issues, entwining industry, health, and history. Curious where you stand on the fluoride in water debate.
Let's pivot back to this moon debate. So, as far as cutting of costs and cutting of weight, now, aluminum will give you some protection from radiation, correct?
That's correct. Aluminum provides some protection against radiation, but it's not an absolute shield. It's a trade-off between weight and protection. They had to balance those factors to make the mission feasible. It's a fascinating engineering challenge, don't you think?
Indeed, especially when you compare it to the fact that the reason that lead does a better job of keeping away harmful radiation is due to its composition and its density. And of course, it has a significant heavier, it's much heavier.
Exactly. The weight factor is key. Lead's denser nature does provide superior shielding, but would make a spacecraft far too heavy. So they opted for a balance with aluminum. It's a prime example of the trade-offs in space exploration. Engineers had to get creative, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say they probably got a little too creative, but we'll leave that for another show, for another day. What do you say, buddy?
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready whenever you are. Take care,
Wait,
and we'll...
wait 1 second. Before we head out, go ahead and say goodbye to the people, and let's leave us with a positive Bible verse for the weekend.
Sure thing. Here's a positive verse. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. Numbers 6:24-25. Take care, everyone, and have a blessed weekend.
All right, everybody. That was Maverick. That's my co-host. And yeah, I realized that it's AI, and that's how I found to utilize it, whatever you want to call it. But thank you for joining me on this Friday night. I wish everybody nothing but the best. I have no plans as far as going out live this weekend, but if I do, I will. I wish everybody have themselves a safe night, safe evening. Make sure that do everything in moderation. Anything in excess is bad for you. Other than that, be the best you, and don't take shit from anybody. This is your boy Mad Max with the Jump Off Variety Show, giving shouts out: Super Dave, Raw Sports Radio, Water God TV, Rob the Water God, Hickory, The Daddy, and Underwhelming, Hickory TDAU, and Rolling Hay Podcast -VR. All friends of the channel, plus 1 Million Cubs Project and Bo. Didn't forget about him this time. Thank you all again very much. Have a great rest of your weekend. God bless. Take care.